Okay, here we're going to be looking at the lower limbs here. You see here with the wicked witch of the west, lower limbs bone structure may not be matching what we're going to be discussing here, but here's what we are going to be looking at. They're basically what we made to call the leg bones. So for the lower limbs, this has a nice kind of a listing of some of the major bones here. They consist of the thigh, the leg, and the foot. So the bones of the lower limb are the femur, the patella, the tibia and fibula, the tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. Now those might be terms you might be familiar with or may not be. The femur is basically your thigh bone, patella is your kneecap, tibia and fibula are the bones of the lower leg here, tarsals are the bones of the ankle, and metatarsals, phalanges are bones of the actual foot. So let's start with that femur, that largest bone there. It's in the upper leg, and it's the largest bone in the human body, and also one of the strongest. Has a lot of pressure to kind of deal with. The femoral head articulates with the pelvis to form the hip joint. The shaft descends in a slightly medial direction that's designed to bring the knees closer to the body's center of gravity. This helps increase your stability. So a lot of these bones, while they may look perfectly straight, are not that way on purpose to help with the basic geometry for maintaining stability or increased strength. Distally, the femur exhibits two rounded regions, so that's the farthest point down here, and they articulate with the tibia in the most anterior projection of the patella, and that's getting into that knee region. So that patella region, as we just left the femur here at the bottom, that patella is basically the knee or the kneecap, and it's the bone between the fibula and the femur. Two main functions is to protect the knee from physical trauma, and it acts as also kind of a leverage that the quadriceps and tendon can exert on the femur, thereby increasing the muscle efficiency. So again, we see another bone being placed not only to protect portions of the body, that delicate joint, but also increasing muscle efficiency. The tibia and fibula of the leg here, so we're kind of in that lower leg region. The tibia is the smaller fibula bones comprise the lower leg and articulate with the knee. So the tibia is the thicker bone. We can kind of think of it that way. A lot of people confuse the tibia and the fibula. The fibula is the smaller one. So that tibia, if you think T and thicker, that can help you remember that in a quick visual comparison. It spans the lower leg, articulates with the proximally with the femur and patella at the knee joint, and distally with the tarsals bones at the ankle joint. That's down here. It's the major weight-bearing bone of the leg because it is the thicker one. The fibula, you can think of being fragile. It's the thinner one. It also spans the lower leg, and although proximally it does not articulate with the femur or the patella, it's one located right here, serves more as an attachment point for muscles rather than a weight-bearing bone, and that's why it tends to be more fragile. The thicker tibia is doing most of the weight-bearing. We have the tarsals and metatarsals and the phalanges. So in humans, the ankle and foot bones include the tarsals, that's your actual ankle. Metatarsals are kind of your middle bones, and the phalanges are the actual toes. Kind of like very similar to analogous kind of being in your hand. We see those same terms, the phalanges, fingers, and toes being given here. So it's important to make that distinction of where you are talking about when you're using that particular term.